The Halfbrick Show.
Welcome to the Halfbrick Show. I'm Aiden from the Halfbrick Customer Support Team, and we're all here in the Big 26 to bring you more Halfbrick Show goodness. I'm joined as always by the other two parts of this glorious podcast machine, and I hope everyone's had a restful holiday period.
I'm Fran, your social media manager. And before we get started, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to a few lovely people who've been giving us shout outs. Because yes, I do read the comments.
Everyone?
Yeah. Well, I
That's
do
right.
try to.
That's what we do.
You know, I do see every Where's Dan the Man to every single one of them. So we've got at Josie14 saying, I love you, Aiden and Fran. An amazing comment. Yes, it's very sweet. But it would scan better as Fran and Aiden. At Cool Guy Plays Games also says, Aiden and Fran, I love you guys. Again, as I said before, incredibly kind, but it scans better the other way around. There's something for all of us to reflect on going forward.
Very cool guy. Thank you.
At Dan the Kid Gamer 2669 says, I love you, Halfbrick Studios. Now, this is a very inclusive comment. And at Random Dude Face asks, next Halfbrick show when? Well, good news. It's right now.
Well, I love the username, Dan the Kid.
Right? Good one.
I feel like I need to go into deep detail on how this is an excellent username. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, friend.
No, it is a good one. Every username we get is good. So, and after that epic novel, I've just chosen to do my next audiobook audition from. Of course, we're keeping a watch over us in the metaphorical recording room. Laptop open, audio software running at double time is our trusty producer, Carmen, without whom the Halfbrick Show would simply just be two idiots talking in an endless void.
Mm.
I'm the Endless Void, apparently. I love the new title. I'm like producer, Endless Void. What will be tomorrow? I'm very happy today because we have a very special guest and some very exciting things to chat about. But I'm also quite happy because we have been receiving some emails, which I don't have the time to read into the air right now because it will take a while. But I just wanted to say from the Carmen recording room that we read those emails, and if we haven't answered to yours yet, it's just because we have been recording an episode. But we read them, we will answer to them. You know, Aiden, what's your email?
Oh, yeah. The amazing email, right? So it's this show at halfbrick.com. And I got to say as well, from friends, like the comments Fran just listed off at the start and the emails we've been getting, it actually means a lot to like all of us. Man, it's just really wholesome to see. Really glad that's reaching you guys listening, and we really appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you. So, as Carmen mentioned, we have a very special guest. Not only is he my Unity mentor, long-suffering Unity mentor, I would say. So this week we are talking to Joseph, who has been hard at work on Jetpack Joyride Racing and other exciting projects behind the scene.
Who the brick are you?
So, Joseph, who the brick are you? Tell
Welcome.
us about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm Joseph. I'm from Brisbane, Australia, where it's nice and warm at the moment.
Too warm.
I get to sweat away in my seat every day, working on Jetpack Joyride Racing.
I mean,
Sorry, I got to ask about the heat. How are you handling it? Do you have an aircon in there? I'm sweating every day. I just need to know.
Just a fan blasting at me.
Yeah.
How I handle it.
Okay.
I was going to comment on your sweating because I don't have that problem right now. Like in the last couple of like weeks. It's been, if it hasn't been a minus number over here, it's been hovering just above the 0 number.
Wow,
Yeah, it's,
that sounds lovely.
That's what I'd said.
and that's what I've
Still
been
sounds lovely.
like confused by. It's not lovely. I wish it was the opposite of that. I wish I was there. So I don't do well in this 0 minus numbers. We could swap if you like. You
If
can come
only we
over
could
here.
swap. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
great. See, at least when you're sitting in a room with a computer, you have a heater there, which you really don't want in the Australian summer.
Yeah. What's a GPU run at normally? Like a graphics card, like 80 degrees or something inside the computer.
Something ridiculous.
In Australia, it's probably like 100 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you do at Halfbrick specifically for Jetpack Racing?
Specifically, I am one of the programmers. So I've been part of the team for the past couple of years, working away at what originally started as a port, but then prototyping and coming up with different game concepts and mechanics and getting towards the finished design, which we're getting towards like closer to at the moment.
Yeah, that port, I think we've discussed this previously. Cut if not. Aero Racer, right? That was one of our Halfbrick's earlier games, a PSP Mini. That's what this
Yeah.
started as?
Yeah,
What was that
exactly.
game?
Aero Racer. I think it was called Rocket Racing as well on different consoles. But it was a game that was really loved by a lot of the original team. And so we wanted to revisit that, some of the unique mechanics around the drifting, different tracks, and add in things like multiplayer, have it more firmly placed within the Halfbrick universe. So yeah, it's been lots of fun. Don't let anyone tell you that I'm not the fastest one on the team, because I've proven that.
Did you ever take part in any of the play tests? Is there evidence of you not being fast?
Not recorded evidence. Let's just say that.
Mm.
There's no
you could-
recorded evidence.
You could basically debunk that claim and say you were the fastest.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
We
I
could,
know.
you know,
So one of the other guys on our team, Aiden, he unfortunately couldn't be here today, but I'm sure he would want me to share that I always win in races against him with Jetpack Joyride Racing.
I have
Yeah.
nothing but respect for a fellow Aiden and the dirt on his name by saying you're the fastest right now.
as long as we don't publish this podcast, your name could be forever known as the fastest person in Jetpack Joyride Racing.
Which is more important.
Podcast episodes. personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, man. The reputation out the window. We got to get an episode
All
out.
right. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's just how it is. Oh, we should get Aiden on at some point, though. That would be great.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my
I'm sure he'd
God,
love to.
the confusion that would be.
Mm.
No, Aiden.
We'll just
No,
have
not that
to
Aiden. This Aiden.
pronounce the A at the end of his name.
That's
differently.
right. Aiden.
It's my
Aiden
E.
versus-
Aiden.
Or
Yeah. We got that. It's a podcast. Everyone can read the words, right? With their ears.
That's
Yes,
right.
that's
They can
how-
hear the spelling.
Yeah, you can hear the difference.
well, obviously we're gonna have to make that happen just to try and confuse our listeners. So emphasizing the A for this Aiden, emphasizing the E for the other Aiden.
Maybe he
Aiden
can
and
do the
Aiden.
intro for you as well.
My
That would be-
gosh.
I just don't. I'm not even in that episode. We just replace Aiden's.
Yeah, yeah. Don't make any comment on it.
Just see if people pick it up. That the name slightly different. Sounds
Does
different.
the other Aiden sound like this Aiden?
I think it would be pretty obvious. But you know,
I reckon.
he could put on a voice. He could give it his best shot.
I don't even want to stereotype myself and say how you could make him sound more like me, because I could. No, I won't even go there. I used to do like
Yes, please don't.
nerd voices and stuff like that. But we won't go any deeper into that for myself. We'll get him on one day.
Yeah, we'll make that happen. We're looking for segment ideas, and Joseph's just given us one.
Which Aiden is this?
Which Aiden is it? Who's
We
hosting
actually-
the podcast?
That's right. We have two friends in the studio.
My goodness.
We have.
I mean, one is the thing is that's going to be very obvious to know which one is which. One is me, very
Yes.
British and very not male and Spanish.
yeah,
so-
that's true.
I think you've just come up with your April Fool's episode.
Yeah. Switch
Just
the Fran and
replace-
Aiden. Do we have any other? We'll need to hire another Carmen. Not that,
Yeah, that's
no
just
one
for that
could
episode.
ever, not to replace producer Carmen ever.
Oh,
Impossible. No way.
The
Carmen.
common name, the most common name in Spain.
There you go.
You just grabbed someone off the street. We
Yeah.
have
My
them fill in
mother.
for the week.
My mother,
Oh my
actually.
goodness.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can just call my mother.
She is
Great.
exactly your name. Like your whole name is your mother's name.
She's the original one. So we can have the
Oh,
original
gee.
Carmen, Nega, Aiden, and Dark Fran, or alternate Fran from another universe.
The
Nice.
alternate. Yeah. My goodness. That is. Yeah, we'll do this.
But we won't
See,
tell you when.
Joseph is the guest that keeps on giving. Right. Well, moving swiftly on, we'll just keep going around in circles in this future episode. What got you into your passion of gaming? I'm assuming you're into games, or you wouldn't be here. No, that is
Yeah.
an assumption. I don't want to make
That's
an
a big
ass out of
assumption.
you and me. As
No,
they
yeah,
say.
definitely. Like games or game development. What's the question?
Games. Your games. What got you into games?
It was probably for me entering high school. I got a laptop for my high school years,
Mm.
and that was the gateway drug. Definitely.
Was there a copy of Halo CE on that laptop?
For sure. Many lunchtimes playing some Halo in the library, sitting at the back of the classroom. Different games. Saints Row 3, give that one a go.
Really?
Saints
Yeah.
Row 3.
That
I was
a
playing
fun
that
one.
last night.
Gem.
No lie.
Really? Wow.
I was playing that last night.
That's a classic. Good fun with that.
On the laptop at school. That's nice.
Yeah, look, the laptop was chugging away.
No,
You could
okay,
probably
yeah.
hear the fan from across the room. Just Cause 2, definitely Minecraft. I mean, I've stuck with Minecraft since it came out.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
I feel like that was when I really got into it. Growing up in, like, when I was primary school, my family were very much no computers, no TVs, go outside and play there. So whenever I went to like a friend's house and they had a console, I was like, oh, I need to give me a couple of
Yeah.
rounds of that. But yeah, no,
Right.
loved it. It basically
Yeah.
stopped my passion for reading as soon as I
No.
got games.
I think it did the same for me as well, which is why I now listen to a lot of audiobooks because games stopped my passion for reading too.
And podcasts? I've heard of a good one.
Yes,
You've
Yeah,
heard of a good podcast.
right? Podcast, yeah.
Did you study games in IT in high school, or what led you to head that way? Sorry.
No, so for me, the introduction to making games, my cousin had Game Maker, so while I was still in primary school,
Yes.
and then one of my friends in class also had that, and I saw him one day. We were out on a trip, I guess, to another school, and we're doing different creative things. I think I did a PowerPoint presentation, which was,
Nice.
and I saw him making like a Mario clone, and I was like, "Whoa, what are you doing? What's this
In
new technology
Game Maker. Yeah.
in Game Maker?"
Wow.
Yeah, so that was opened a new world of creativity, being able to just come up with something and put it down and play around with it. And so that
Mm.
really, I spent as much time, if not more, throughout high school messing around with Game Maker prototypes and stuff to playing games. I remember I got caught a few times by my teachers because I was too busy making games instead of reading my English book or whatever it was.
You
I
can
think
go
there's
back to
worse
those
things to
teachers
get
and...
caught.
Sorry, Aiden.
That was it. I was just saying there's worse things you can get caught doing, like
That's
making
right.
games.
Right.
You wouldn't think so in
And
the
I'm-
moment.
Yeah, but you can go back to those teachers and be like, well, look where I am now. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, I showed
Mm.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
see
no,
what
I
you
ended up studying IT after high school, but that was always with the goal to get into making games.
mean. That's really cool. So I think you might be one of the first, could be wrong, first people on the pod that weren't really into games early-ish in life. Like you came into them a bit later.
Okay.
And yet here you are working on like one of the more gamey roles, like making an actual game, which is great. Do you have a favorite game of all time?
Oh, that's tough. There's a lot of reasons to like different games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, Saints Row 3, I liked for a while. Just Cause 2, if you've played that one.
Yeah.
Got really into that. A lot of those kind of third-person campaign games.
Sandboxy as well.
Sandboxy.
Yeah.
Throughout my uni years, Overwatch non-stop playing that one. So, but I have to go. If I was to say my favorite, it has to be Minecraft. And let me tell you, it's like whenever I want to scratch my creative itch and not feel like I'm doing work, I hop in Minecraft and I build some giant structure, or I'll do some redstone contraption.
Right.
Yeah.
Redstone. That's the sign of someone who can also make games.
Well, I'm not very good at it, but it's very satisfying. It just again the sandbox element. Lots of fun with that.
Yeah, true.
I'm sure you guys have shared your favorite games before, but what are yours?
Don't get me started.
No, don't get him started. We actually did a New Year's like roundup podcast about it a
Wow.
few weeks back. Like, because Aiden talks about his all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
And we had
Yeah.
to put up with listening to it again. So, I mean,
Like, I should pay
Aiden,
people
yeah,
to listen to the podcast. The amount of times I ramble.
mean-
I have one fun fact that I haven't said on the podcast before, based on my favorite game, Ratchet and Clank.
Exciting.
Gotta say it again.
Ratchet and
Right.
Clank.
First
Let's
one on
go.
the PS2. In high school, I made a Ratchet and Clank fan game in Game Maker, so it's a very relatable experience. The Game Maker.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
There's
all I'll
nothing
say.
wrong with it. It's lots of fun, Game Maker.
It's so good. But yeah, that's
Ratchet
one.
and Clank is great. That's what I used to. My brother and I would hop on, play some Ratchet and Clank.
That's sandbox as well. That was a great sandbox, I would
That was
argue.
amazing.
Each level. Yeah. Maybe Insomniac should start paying us as well for the amount.
Insomniac do the Marvel Spider-Man. Played that one last year actually. That was a lot of fun.
Nice, yeah. Spider-Man, Wolverine coming up, Sunset Overdrive. I love all their games as well. Like, favorite company other than Halfbrick,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. No, but that great movement mechanics. It's really fun. It like feels so smooth to just navigate around.
Definitely.
I mean,
Oh, man.
we'll stop you there because I know
Stop me,
you could
please.
go on forever.
Yes.
And this is Joseph's it's his podcast,
Mute me.
not
Someone
yours.
mute me.
No, I wanted to know.
I mean, yeah, it's true. You did ask, but he will just monopolize it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your answering, Aiden.
Of course, man.
We could answer, but that's purely your decision.
I'd love to know. I'd love to hear your favorite games.
Well, my answer, I can tell you what I answered before, is it was difficult because I'm so very old and ancient that I have a favorite game in every era of gaming. I chose at the time The Outer Worlds. Because, and I would say at the time I chose The Outer Worlds because it is just a very good game, and I would definitely play that game if you haven't already.
Yeah, I've heard about it. Is that the
Really
one where you're in the spaceship?
It's
not The Outer Wilds.
No, that's the thing that confuses me, is those two names.
Sorry, you are in a spaceship.
Yes.
But not The Outer Wilds, The Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
It's
yes.
by Obsidian.
Yeah, I think
RPG.
I know which one you're talking about, and I've heard it's really good.
Yeah. It's very funny. Dialogue's great. It's just a lot of fun. The Outer Worlds 2 came out last year.
Okay.
Again, very fun. Not finished it yet because I've not had the time to actually play it, but what I have played of it, it's really great.
We playing a lot of it over the holidays?
Sorry, I haven't, no.
No, not over the holidays?
No, I just haven't had the time really.
Yeah, fair.
But it's my favorite game, my most recent favorite game.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I do need to check that out. I've heard that every time you play it through, well, at least you can play it through a couple times, and it's you
Yeah.
still get things out of it.
Yeah, and the thing is, with the second game, I have done things in that game which I won't talk about because you can
Makes it sound so
not
bad.
do those things. And I mean, if you're going to play it, I won't mention it because I
Okay.
have definitely done things I somewhat regret.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Is it one of those situations where you can take the good or bad path, kind of?
I may have done the bad one.
That's brave. I always find games like that, like Dishonored is the one that comes to mind, where you can kind of go the good or the bad route. And for some reason, I always feel like I have to be good, as if there's going to be some consequence for me. But at the end of the day, I've kind of missed out on playing it. If I wanted to do it like in the bad way, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't. I've deprived myself.
And then this is it, right? You should think of yourself as a good person every day in your real life. In my game play style, I like to think of myself as the lovable rogue.
Right.
I don't intentionally go out to be bad. I'm a good person to my crewmates, my friends in the game.
Right.
I'm going out to do for the greater good. And if I have to accidentally blow up a whole town for the
That's
greater good.
more than roguish.
Poor Megaton from Fallout 3. Man.
Oh,
Probably. I'm assuming you did that.
it's on par with that.
Wow.
What I did.
Yeah, you
I
shouldn't have
didn't
shared.
know the
You
impact
shouldn't have
of
shared.
my decision.
Interesting.
Anyway,
I'm
moving
now more
swiftly
interested in
on.
playing these games.
Right. Wait, Carmen, did you have any quick updates for your game? Sorry, I feel like Joseph wanted everyone's.
No. Yeah. Well, what I said on the podcast episode was Fantasy 13, which,
Yeah, wow.
yeah, controversial choice. Yeah.
See, I don't know enough about the Final Fantasy series. So, to me,
It's the
naming
most
specifically
hated one.
13, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What makes it the best one to you?
The combat system, the characters, the setting, everything. I just like everything about that game. I liked it so much that I told on the podcast that I scratched my first copy on the PS3.
Yeah,
So
wow.
I now have it for Steam because I've played it so many times.
Wow.
So yeah, didn't play it over the holidays though. I played B Rising, in which the B stands for vampire. I promised Fran that I would
Okay.
play the Outer Worlds, but this was on sale and it's kind of like a open world. You just level up. You are a vampire. You start with nothing. You level up and you can decorate your castle. So it's like Animal Crossing for goths and with combat. I recommend it.
That's awesome.
She sounds quite good.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, and you can play with
V-Rising.
friends.
Yeah,
Yeah, my friends were playing it.
that's fun.
That kind of settles the question of what game do you play sometimes is what
Mm.
others playing.
Yeah, for sure.
Joseph,
Any
I know
game
you-
with like multiplayer. Sorry, but
No, you're
was
right. I
gonna
was going to say, Marvel Rivals and Fortnite still in rotation for you?
Fortnite. Look, Fortnite was a bit of a controversial one. I never played Fortnite before joining Halfbrick, and then people on my team. So one of the cool things about working at Halfbrick is every month we do a team lunch together with our team, and so we'll order some food and then hop on a game and play through it together. And the big choice from our team lead was Fortnite, and
Yeah.
through those team lunches, I got very much addicted. There's just so many different updates that keep coming through, and new mechanics and different, cosmetics. It can be very fun. But
Please
that
tell me you got Kim Kardashian.
no,
Oh,
no, I did not.
Why? Come on.
It's crazy the amount of collaborations they do. There's so many, just random. I think they had Stranger Things as well at one point.
yeah, they've been in there. You could probably say any franchise. And
Any franchise.
Yeah, it's been in
Yeah,
there.
at this point.
At this point.
So that's fun. But I was going to say that multiplayer aspect, I think, is a real appeal for me with a lot of games. Like
Yeah.
Borderlands 2 was one back in the day that, you'd play that with
I love
friends.
Borderlands. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did quite a few playthroughs of that because you just choose a different class and try it again.
Yeah.
Call of Duty World at War, we did that a lot in high school.
Right. Yes.
That was fun because you can
Yeah.
download modded maps and things for it. So it's just like there were people, I think, modding maps from later Call of Duties into Call of Duty World at War. So
Mm.
you could just keep playing it. But
Modders are
anyway.
crazy in any game. This
Yeah.
multiplayer is a good fit for you to come onto Jetpack Racing then, right? Like
Yeah,
it's almost
definitely.
like dream game in that sense. It's all about that same kind of feeling of playing.
Yeah, no, that
you know.
part of it where I think it just adds another level of innate fun when you have multiplayer in a game because, I mean, you're friends with people because you enjoy spending time with them. And so you just add that enjoyment on top of the fun of the game already. So for something like JJ Racing, just we've had so many good times just hopping in a race together and, running into each other, knocking each other into walls, all while in a call together. Yeah, makes it really fun.
Awesome. We have obviously the list of guest chat questions that we normally ask everyone. But I think you may have already answered what you're working on at the moment and what you like most about the thing.
Yeah.
So I reckon we move on to the lightning round. I'm itching to hear this or that in 2026.
Yeah, well, this or that basically was the most infamous game of 2025.
Mhm.
Okay.
It basically took this podcast by storm.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how popular it was.
And we're open to new ones too. If people want to email that,
Yeah,
the show at halfbrick.com with questions for it or other
right.
games that you might want to try. Yeah, the devs be asked. Who
I
knows?
know. There's only a finite amount of thought that can continue in this brain,
Yeah.
So if you would like to give me suggestions for this or that, it would
Yeah, quickly,
really
listeners,
help
friends got
me
3
out.
more episodes of this or that in the tank.
Exactly. At some point I might just like collapse on the floor and die because my brain is just this or thatted out. And nobody wants that. Right. Well, so then, Joseph,
Yes.
are you primed and ready to play this?
Absolutely.
Actually, have I even told you how to play it?
No,
I
I
haven't yet.
have no idea what it is, but I'm ready for it.
I knew you would be, even without me telling you how to play it. But basically, I give you 2 prompts and you choose the one you like the most.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
2 prompts. Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just go with it. We'll just see what kind of prompts
Yeah.
they are, I guess.
Exactly. You just pick the one you like the most, and that is
Alright.
it.
I'm ready.
Right. 1 monitor or too many monitors?
1 monitor or too many monitors? Is there discussion in this game?
All right.
No.
No
No,
I mean,
discussion.
you can.
No discussions.
I mean, maybe because you've been such a
Maybe after the
prime
answer.
guest, I might let you have a little bit of a
Okay,
confer
alright.
with
Oh,
the other people in the team.
Okay, so too many. That's not a specific number. That's just the amount where I would be uncomfortable with the
For
you,
number.
yeah.
It
For
is.
me.
Which is why I said too many.
But at the same time, 1 monitor I'd be uncomfortable with that as well. So it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not enough, is it? One's just
Yeah.
not enough.
Yeah. So my ideal, I have 2 monitors set up. So I feel like too many would be like 4. Because
I've
then
got
I'm
4.
Oh, okay. So for you it might be 5.
If I count my laptop, then I do have 5.
Okay, well there you go. You're much more capable of handling monitors
Yeah.
than me.
Yeah, friends
Was
always
you
on the
throwing in a
stock market.
curveball answer?
That's
aren't I?
right, 5 monitors. I can't even imagine. I'm going to say too many monitors because with programming, having 1 monitor is just such a pain.
All right. So, prototype energy or polish energy?
Wow, good question. Prototype. Polish has the satisfaction of you have the time to do things the right way. But prototype is where you get to be creative, and that's what I enjoy.
This is in Jetpack Joyride Racing.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Every UI button sound is a slide whistle, or every vehicle sound is like a kazoo.
Oh wow, the kazoo, definitely. Just
You got
imagine
kazoo.
these ships flying around, just buzzing. I feel like that would be fun.
And we have that as a secret feature.
An
Just
Easter egg,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Kazoo mode.
kazoo mode. I have
It's
to
got the
talk
kazoo
to
kid from that
have to
meme.
talk to the team.
Every
That's right. That would be funny.
A duck that completes your sentences, or you complete a duck's sentences.
My goodness. Is there a set length of time? This is forever? The rest of my life? Or is this
You can
like
choose that. I'll let
just
you
like a
choose that.
one? Just finishing a duck sentence would be very easy. A duck finishing my sentence would probably not be helpful. It would just
But which
be
is
a
more
quack.
funny?
the
So
duck
assuming
could
I've
speak
still got a
perfect
job,
English.
the duck can speak perfect English now.
I don't know. It
Interesting.
could.
That's
It's a gamble you got to take.
that's again. I'm gonna say finishing a duck sentence. I just think, practically
Mhm.
speaking, it wouldn't help me much to have every sentence end in a quack.
Yeah. One quack and you're done too.
What if it's a short sentence and it's just quack quack?
Oh, that's true. It could be multiple quacks.
Yeah,
This is the complexity of this or that.
this is a tough
It's
game.
true. I know it is. That's why it was so popular last year. Okay, last question.
Okay.
All of the previous answers are binding, or none of the above questions will be taken into consideration.
So either they all happen
Yeah,
or none of them happen.
right.
All right, wow. Because right now none of them are going to happen. But I could choose that they all happen.
Yeah, hypothetically, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd go with that one. I think, yeah, binding.
Wow.
I want to
Mm.
finish duck sentence.
Get
Yeah,
the free
and you
monitors
get
out of it.
and you
Yeah,
get
sell my
kazoo.
kazoo
Yeah, I think
sounds.
wise choice.
I feel like I've come
Well
away
done.
with a lot from this. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is quite deep. It's very
Yeah,
philosophical.
this is good.
This or that, often.
I've really enjoyed that version of this or that.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And
Well done.
in 2 or 3
Thank you.
years' time, when we've run out of community suggestions, we need to come up with more. It'll be like the most philosophical questions about life known to man.
That's right.
Every answer will
That's
be,
right.
I don't know.
Spiraling.
People will be having breakdowns on the podcast live.
Yeah. Well, okay. Thank you for that. We've got 2 other little quick sections for you.
All right.
I don't know if you've heard any earlier episodes yet, but there's an iconic question coming up, and then the first thing is guessing the community comment. Right, so we
Okay.
go over the socials where Fran reads every comment, as we now know.
Yeah,
And
wow.
we have
Everyone. Every single
That's
one.
really
that's right,
impressive.
every single one, as we reply to every single email, and we pick one, or we don't pick one and we make one up. Right. So this is from YouTube or Twitter, Facebook, whatever.
Okay.
X. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll read the comment out exactly.
Exactly as written.
Exactly as
And
written.
it could be, could you have done multiple comments or have you each done one comment?
It's only one per guest.
Okay, so one of the
yeah.
comments will have been made up.
It's just one comment. That's it.
Just
And
one
you tell me
comment.
if it's real or fake.
Okay, all right,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll just read it. Okay.
All right.
The comment is, quote, Jetpack Joyride Racing. Party streamer emoji. Party streamer emoji. Party streamer emoji. End quote.
Whoa.
Is that real or fake?
Jetpack.
Jetpack.
Oh my
Jetpack
goodness.
Joyride.
Jetpack party. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to put my deductive hat on. Jetpack. Now, initially you might think, okay, clearly that's your standard community comment. Someone just not even checking their spelling, being excited about Jetpack Joyride Racing, was it?
Yeah, Jetpack Joyride Racing. Yeah.
Jetpack.
That's right.
But then if you look deeper, I would assume you would be trying to throw me off. And if I
Well-
look at my keyboard, the C and the
Right, I see what you're
T
doing.
aren't even
There's
close to
no-
each other.
I see what you're doing. They would have maybe pressed the Y or the
Or the
Oh.
R or the G. You'd have to really be going out of your way to spell it with a C. So I'm going to lock in. This was made up by one of you.
That is excellent deductive reasoning. But
No!
too deductive.
Oh
It's
no!
real.
Ah,
It's
He
real.
thought
the
he
insanity
caught
of the
us out.
internet.
Of the internet.
You
I
He
believe
can't
thought
we
he
still
was
pop these up.
Columbo, but he wasn't.
We grabbed that one from, I believe it was the web series, the dev behind the scenes with Woody
Yes,
from
wow.
Halfbrick about Jetpack Joyride Racing.
Thank you for
So-
your comment. I'm sorry for calling it insanity.
I was a little curious how they did press the C when the
That's
T
right.
isn't near this. Yeah, that's why I thought it was perfect.
That has to be intentional. They can't have done that
Um,
by accident.
No, and this was also 2 months ago as well, by the way. So we dig a little deep with these
Wow.
social comments. If any other
How-
devs are listening,
Okay, yeah.
start remembering.
Just as a meta question, how often have you had them be community comments versus your comments?
We're pretty. Would you guys say 50-50?
I reckon it's
Yeah.
about 50-50, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
good to know.
But it's also not perfectly
No,
50-50.
he's
It's not like
he's-
one
when
episode
I'm
real,
back
one
next
fake.
time,
Yeah, I'm gonna
get
study
it
up.
right.
I'm gonna read all the comments myself, so I will know.
Well,
he's coming back with a vengeance. We need to double down.
This is scary. Maybe when we have our Halfbrick All Hands, which will be happening after this episode has
Yeah.
gone live, we
You
might bring
gonna
a
drop
bunch.
by?
We'll bring a
Okay.
bunch to it, and we'll have a microphone set up at our big all hands thing, and anyone's welcome to challenge the community comment, the guest
We
the
could have a
community
quick
comment.
fire challenge.
Quick fire?
Shaden.
If anyone
This
wants
is
to
a
see that,
Great idea.
get some hype on this video, please, or the podcast. Listen, whatever.
This
And
audio
Joseph's
medium.
just going to be sat there until he gets one right.
Yeah, it's just Joseph here, like, doesn't let anyone else have a go.
Just edit out all the fails. Just have the one
Could do.
success. Wait, can we just redo that part actually, and I just get it right?
We have journalistic integrity here on the Halfbrick Show.
What a shame.
No fake news here.
Fake news, that's right. Speaking of a question, we ask everyone this. Just your best answer. Where's Dan the Man 2?
Where is Dan the Man 2? When I last checked, I believe it was placed on board the Voyager 1 as was launched out into space to foreign stars as a representation of humankind.
Lovely.
But you can't
good
really get it back
Amazing.
at this point. It's
Right.
gone. Yeah.
Well, he better come back
Quite
at some
beautiful.
point.
If it does come back, it will be with new knowledge.
Yeah, poetic, really.
love
So we'll have
that.
to clear a launch pad for that at some point, or like a water landing, whatever they do from
It's something
returning
like that. Yeah.
spacecraft.
I think that's what it is, isn't it? It lands somewhere in the
Yeah, somewhere like it breaks
Ocean.
apart or something like that.
little pod,
Hmm.
little parachute. Is that what they still do? I'm just so
Think so.
used to
I
Elon
don't know.
Musk's like little thing that just sort of lands back.
Lands down. Yeah, I think they still parachute down with the cargo.
Mm,
So
mm.
just swim out there. You'll get it.
Amazing answer, though. Thank you. That's probably. We always get some good creative ones. That's the first factual answer. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, or was I not meant to share that?
Only Joe.
Never know. Yeah.
I have one last question for you, Joseph. It's not Voyager related. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But since you like cosmetics so much and you don't have Kim Kardashian in Fortnite, which card and which racer is your
Ooh,
go-to one on Jetpack Joyride Racing?
this is good. I
Mm.
really like.
Sorry, guys. I needed to know.
This is a good
That's
question.
perfect.
So with Jetpack Joyride Racing, some of the characters are like a bit cuter looking, and so they look like nice and small in their ships. And one of those is King Rascal.
Yes.
He looks so cute as you race with him because he's kind of angry, but he's also so small. And then I like racing him inside. I think it's Professor Brain's UFO. I think he has the UFO ship, the Galaxy ship.
That just
Yeah,
sounds
that's my
cute.
combo.
It is.
It's yeah.
Are there any? Can we
Excellent.
discuss? Can we like declare? Are there any techs or like metas with? Is there any, or is it cosmetic for JJ Racing?
Just cosmetic, yeah.
Just for the
launch.
listeners.
Yeah, that'll be
Nice.
cosmetic.
There's no
There's no benefit except for having really good drip.
100%, which is
Really
which is a good way
drip.
to. Yeah, no Kirby Air Riders level of slide star or whatever one where you have to brake to go or something like that.
It's not all about that. It's all about just looking Gucci. Come on.
And
That's
yeah,
right.
and having fun
Flexing.
with your friends and it's
Showing off.
Yeah, 100%.
They
I
just see
like
you
it.
crossing the line in front of them and they go, I wish I had his ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'd see me crossing the line, but maybe other Aiden.
Maybe I'll hate. No, he's slow. He's too slow.
Yeah, it's Joseph who's always winning.
The slander
Always
continues.
winning. Always crosses the finish line first.
That's
Not
right.
last. Always first.
Always first. There's no evidence to prove otherwise.
No, not on this podcast at all.
That's right.
Wasn't said it anywhere on this podcast.
That's right. We will ignore any of that.
We can timestamp that right where he doesn't say that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Well, as we said earlier, Joseph's been working hard on Jetpack Joyride Racing, and we can't wait to share this one later with you on our future episodes. So keep an eye out on Halfbrick Plus for more info to come. But we can practice our victory dancing and our pretending we came first maneuvers.
Yeah.
So,
Get your Fortnite emotes at the ready.
yeah, we can make up our own virtual winning emotes, real life emotes.
There are
throwing
emotes in the
shapes.
game, right?
There is an emote wheel. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Because there's nothing more satisfying than throwing shade via an emote.
No, it's you in sports football all over again, friend.
I throw shade by voice in half.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, you're right. Yeah.
Oh,
It is a fun time.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Joseph, and for steering the rivalry between the two Aidens. We hope you come back and guess that community comment on the town
Yes.
hall section. Just study up and, I don't know, get an amulet or something, since it's 50-50 chance of getting it right.
Yeah, it would be impressive if I kept getting it wrong.
Maybe that's more impressive.
That's what I
yeah.
want you to think.
Again, that winning mentality, incredible.
Thank you for having me. Lots of
Yeah.
fun.
Pleasure.
Yeah, thanks so much. And to the listeners, as always, thanks for being here in 2026 again. We hope it's been another episode that you can look back on with nostalgia. And yeah, we'll catch you for next week's episode of The Halfbrick Show.
Coming up next time on The Halfbrick Show.
Until then, find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube Podcasts. And should you wish to reach us indubitably, the door is open at the show at halfbrick.com.